Let's talk holsters. If you're going to carry a firearm, you're going to need a way to carry it. I don't recommend that you just drop a firearm into your waistband of your pants or in your sock. You can make your own decisions. If you feel that that's appropriate, then that's all up to you. But I really recommend that you use some sort of securing device, such as a holster. Now, in talking about holsters, there's just many different kinds. There's many different styles. They come in different qualities. Price range is really erratic, and you need to just get out there where you can get hands-on with them to check them out, maybe try them out, be prepared to return a couple, and ask around to people that you know that may carry firearms, but try to decide predominantly how you would like to do this. Now, for most people, they like to carry the weapon somewhere around their waist, and there's pretty much two different styles to carrying a holster around your waist. There's inside the waistband and outside the waistband. For inside the waistband, it's a little more concealable, and it can be comfortable, but in some situations they can be uncomfortable. So you just kind of have to shop around and see what you got there. Most popular, probably, or used to be most popular, or at least most accessible, is just the sock, as they would call it. It's just a piece of material. The gun just slips right into it, and then all of this goes inside the waistband. Most of the time we'll have a clip, doesn't have to, but just something that helps secure it to the garment. It doesn't have any safety features to hold it in. It's just what it is. It's just a sock. The weapon slips into it, and they're cheap. They're inexpensive. I really am not crazy about them. I probably bought that one there about 20 years ago, and I don't even use it anymore. It will probably get dropped in the trash really soon, just because it's so old and it's actually starting to deteriorate and fall apart. So another style for inside the waistband that has come out in the last few years is what they're referring to as a hybrid. And what this is basically a piece of leather, which sometimes they may be some other synthetic materials or such, and then a piece of plastic or molding, this one is Kydex, that the gun just slips into. And you'll have a couple hooks, many different styles of hooks, but this will slip inside your waistband with the waistband actually going through the hooks. The leather is to serve to be in between the weapon and your skin, or your shirt, or whatever you may have tucked in. And I find these to be fairly comfortable. If you put it in the right spot and you're not carrying an oversized gun, you pretty much don't notice that it's even there after a while. And with it being molded to the exact kind of gun that you're carrying, I'll show you here that it will slip in and you actually may hear it click. It is somewhat secured. Now, it's not secured in a fashion that's got a snap over it or anything like that. I've never had any problem with it coming out or anything like that, but has been very comfortable, and they range in price, pretty big variance in the price, $20 to $60. This one here was actually made in USA, and I think I picked it up for about $30. And I have really appreciated having this one for concealed carry when I'm just wearing a shirt that's just untucked outside of the pants. I hardly even notice that this one is there, and even when I do, I've learned to deal with it. It's not unbearable or anything like that. So that's inside the waistband. Outside the waistband, you got many styles. You got this kind here that just goes onto your belt. Now this one's like a duty style holster, and it actually has a safety feature on it, that it has this snap that goes over top of the gun, and it's what they call a thumb brake, that if you just hit it with your thumb, it unsnaps and then you can access the gun. Now they do come in very many different styles of safety features and everything, but those are very common. I prefer, if I'm out where It doesn't have to be concealed or anything like that. They're durable. This is the some sort of synthetic material, but I've had it for a long time. Actually carried it for duty carry and everything else, and it was very durable and has held up. It is just a one level safety in that it's just got the one strap and one button on it. But the more complex you get, you got to understand too that the more complex something is, the more apt it is to break or to not work. So with that said, here's another style. This is a combination style that they call paddle holster, where this actually goes into the inside of your waistband here, and then this portion sits on the outside. Now it does have a button release on it that whenever you drop the weapon into it, you will hear it click. And the only way to release this one is to push this button and to pull it out. Now, if you're going to carry something like this, you really have to train with it for a little bit. And it's the same for any holster for that matter. But I would not want to get the whole concepts of my thumb being what releases the weapon and what my finger releases the weapon. Because think about it, if you're using your finger to release the weapon, what do you use to pull your trigger? You use your fingers. So you really got to keep those straight. You don't want to pull the trigger as you're pulling the weapon out. You know, we know that one of our 3 main rules is we never put our finger on the trigger unless we're ready to pull it. So it's just another style. Now it does have some things that could go wrong with it, in the fact that it's got a spring tension in it, and you know, the whole button for the release. But you know, I use it. It's light. That's one of the main things about it. It's really light. It keeps the gun very accessible. You can just throw it onto your pants and take it right off. It's easy to use. You just have to be conscious about what you're doing and everything. Now another method, a lot of people choose this method. It's not so much my favorite, but it's a kind of a last resort deal, that if you know I can't really carry in the waistband or on the outside of the waistband, and it's pocket carry. Now you're not going to do this with a large gun, but they make different types of holsters that you can slip down into your front pocket, your back pocket, even coat pocket and such. Now this one's designed mainly for a back pocket or front pocket, probably more so for the front pocket. Now it's nothing more than a piece of material with some textured rubber on the outside of it. Now when you drop this down into your pocket, and with the weapon in it, like this, the rubber material on the outside actually creates enough friction on the inside of the pants that if you go in to pull the gun out, the gun just comes out and not the holster. It protects the finger guard and the trigger, you know, keeps it from going off in your pocket. Surely you don't want that. But it's somewhat concealable in the fact that when you've dropped it in your pocket, you really can't tell what you've got there. But it is an easy way to carry a small gun too. I wouldn't try to carry a big gun that way unless you're really, really big and got some big pockets. But at any rate, that's just in a quick nutshell some basic holsters and styles of holsters.